Hi, folks. You know, I think it's reasonable to say that the Constitution and the rights that it supposedly protects have been dying the death of 1,000 cuts over the past couple centuries. And in fact, nowhere is this more apparent than in the Second Amendment, which is supposed to protect the right to keep and bear arms. In fact, there's new information that comes out of New York State, where, get this, a state senator is actually proposing that if anyone in the state wants to own a firearm, they will have to turn over their social media accounts and passwords to the police, and they'll have to open up their search histories to cops as well. Talk about an attack on the Bill of Rights. Here's the dangerous information, folks. The Associated Press is reporting that New York State Senator Kevin Parker, a Democrat from Brooklyn, has proposed a bill called SB 9191, which, in the words of the wonderful Liberty Doll from YouTube and Twitter,
the bill S9191 would require license applicants to give their usernames and passwords to the government, allowing them to search through all their Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter posts and all of their Snapchats going back 3 years. It would also require you to let the government look at your internet search history going back 1 year. And this goes for renewals too.
And here's what Parker's bill actually says police will look for and what they will do. Quote, they will look for commonly known profane slurs or biased language used to describe the race, color, national origin, ancestry, gender, religion, religious practice, age, disability, or sexual orientation of a person. They'll also look for anyone threatening the health or safety of another person, or someone who might be engaged in an act of terrorism, or any other issue deemed necessary by the investigating officer. For the purpose of this subdivision, social media accounts shall only include Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, so if you're using Gab, I guess you're all set. And search engine shall only include Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So those of you using DuckDuckGo, big thumbs up, you're okay. Upon completion of the investigation, the police authorities shall report the results to the licensing officer without unnecessary delay. End quote. Yes, they shall, Senator Parker, unless those police officers actually want to uphold their oath to protect and defend the U.S. Constitution. You know, it must be an interesting concept to actually approach Senator Parker and ask him for some clarification. For example, when he says that a citizen consents to police rummaging through their social media sites and their search histories, what does he mean by consent? You see, Senator Parker, consent is not something you can give under duress, which is exactly what you're doing by threatening people with arrest or fines if they don't consent to your orders, Senator. You see, they have an inherent right to be able to get a firearm, regardless of what you think. And if you are setting up requirements for them in order to exercise this right, Senator, then they can't actually give consent, can they? But Parker's not done with his egotistical statements. He goes on to comment, quote, although New York has some of the strictest gun laws in the country, we can no longer provide protection to gun owners at the expense of the rest of society, end quote. Wow. Well, first of all, it might behoove his lordship, Senator Parker, to actually note that the government has argued in court that it has no obligation to protect people. He might want to look up the case, Warren v. District of Columbia. Yeah, it's right there. And guess what? The court found in favor of the government not having an obligation to protect anyone. And it might also be worth reminding Senator Parker that his proposal flagrantly violates the First, Second, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, and 14th Amendments, destroying the right to free speech, gun rights, the right against unwarranted searches, the right against self-incrimination, the right to a fair trial, and the right against punishment without a trial by jury. In fact, he breaches the so-called right of equal protection as well. And you're not supposed to be punished until after you have a trial. In fact, it might be wise to let Senator Parker know that his mention that they can no longer protect gun owners at the expense of the rest of society is a veiled threat, isn't it? Yes, indeed, it sounds a lot more like a gangster, Senator Parker. In other words, you can't protect them from the aggression that the state will unleash on them if they don't conform to your commands to open up their private computer interactions with other people. Unbelievable. You might as well put on a red coat and start marching through Lexington and Concord. This is incredible to see. But of course, he says that it's important to protect people. Well, Senator Parker, protecting people doesn't come by threatening them, which is precisely what you're doing through this statute. It's unlikely that this statute would stand inside a court. But the very idea that someone could propose something like this inside the New York State legislature is incredibly worrying. So, hats off to those people who have become alarmed about this and started to send the signals out to their friends. And hats off to you for watching our signals as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and to tell your friends about us. If you like what we're doing, we'd love to have more folks joining us at MRC-TV. For MRC-TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.